So we're going to start off by drawing the easiest type of anime, which is chibi anime. And so I'm going to just do something simple like a cat over here. So I'm going to start with a nice oval shape or a circular shape. And I'm going to draw the eyes on this just a little bit like lower than I would on a real cat. So I just draw circles. Inside the eyes, if you want there to be another little circle, that kind of makes them look a little more alive. Chibi doesn't always need to have another little circle in there. It can just be all black if you want to, but I like to give it a little bit of life. So there's a white circle inside of the dark circle. A lot of times with chibi, the mouth is very close to the eyes, so I'll just do it right up there. Maybe a little cute tiny nose. Sometimes there's like little emphasis marks, maybe those are the whiskers. And then I'm going to do some things that are bigger, like the big ears. 2 triangle, upside down V shapes. Cute little tail. And then and add some cute little feet. There's a cute little chibi cat. One way to do one. If I wanted to do a chibi person, I could do it in a similar way, starting with a round ovular circle. My circles aren't perfect, which is just fine. And then I'll do the eyes kind of in the middle. And there are also different ways of doing chibi. You could do different kind of eyes. I'm going to start with like the simpler eyes and we'll go more complex. Sometimes they don't even have a nose. I'll do noses just so you know, it's just kind of like a line. This one will have an open mouth. Maybe some eyebrows, maybe some eyelashes if it's a lady. Now we're going to go into hair more on anime characters, because chibi hair is just as hard as regular hair. Basically, I'm doing kind of a zigzag line on top. And I'll do kind of a zigzag line around the side. If I want to do a different face, you could do another face. Anime is all about emotions. So maybe I have little tiny eyes and very shocked eyebrows. That works too. Maybe I'll even draw his hands at his mouth. Hands are just kind of circles. Arms are just ovals. And with the chibi, their bodies aren't huge. They're kind of all squat. So for this little one, maybe I have a little tiny neck. If I'm kind of breaking it down into shapes, I might draw like an oval shape. Little tiny ovals coming off of that. Little tiny feet. And then I can give her some clothes. You can always color it in and kind of cover up my circles that I drew before, or erase them. I decided to cover them up this time. Usually I'm an eraser fan. We're going to start with drawing some little chibi guys. Today we're going to make our anime faces, and the way I'm going to start by making the outline of my face is with a circle. So I'm just lightly sketching a circle because I'll be erasing parts of this later on when I draw my hair. It doesn't have to be perfect because our faces aren't perfectly round. And in fact, I'm going to add a little point on the bottom because typically anime faces are a little bit pointy. Now, let me erase that. You can trace over some of the faces I already have kind of lightly drawn out for you to kind of get the feel of it. I like to draw on the top of my head too. I left that open for you since you wouldn't be able to erase this if I had copied it. There we go, I've traced over that. Do that on your paper. And now we're gonna go with the most prominent features of the anime characters, which is their eyes. So I've got a couple pages worth of eyes for you to look at to kind of get some ideas and examples. I'm gonna start you off with a few basic ones, but I want you to really practice and experiment. So the way I kind of start off my eye, I start off with a curve on the top. So I'm going to draw those. And then I have like a little kind of line sometimes coming down. And then just a line at the bottom. Quite a big distance. I'm starting off with some big eyes. Now I'm going to fill in an oval that touches the top and the bottom. Inside of my eye, I want to draw some shine spots. So I might draw a circle at the top. And then I'll just do the oval in the inside. That's great. I could go ahead and shade in my eye as well. I'm going to start dark at the top and slowly get lighter because I like to do some different value inside my eye. You can try that too if you want, or just color it all medium gray. And I have a nice eye. I can do some eyebrows, which is just kind of little lines. Sometimes they get a little bit thicker. Okay. Great. I'm going to go over here and do some eyes. Lots of time the guy eyes are a little bit thinner. You can see in like this one, we got some like thinner eyes. So I might try that on this one. So I'm going to do the same thing where I start with an arch at the top, just a rainbow shape. I'm going to do a little bit more of a line closer up on the bottom. An oval that touches the top and the bottom, but this time it's more like a circle than an oval. You know what, I could even just do something as simple as that. I'm going to do like a little C shape inside. Kind of looks dreamy. Could shade it or not. Simple-ish. For this guy eyes, maybe I'll have them a little bit more curved. Maybe he's angry. And now for this face, I think I'm going to do some large eyes. Now we talked chibi is kind of like a cutesy version, so I might do, maybe I'll start with the oval this time. So I can start with a big oval in each eye, and then I can do the line on top, and the line on the bottom. Maybe I'll draw two shines in this one. And I can just fill in the whole background. Different ways to do eyes. I'll try out a few more over here while you kind of practice on your own. Alright, so I've got some different eyes over here. Something you might notice in anime is the line thickness that varies a lot. So sometimes we might have like thick lines like at the top of the eyes, and then sometimes we might have like some thinner lines, like maybe my eyebrow is a thinner line. You can see in here we have lots of thick lines and thin lines. So don't be afraid to kind of experiment with your thick and thin lines as well. I'm going to move on to the nose. So for noses, those are actually one of the easiest parts of an anime. Literally, it's like boop, a little V shape that's sideways. You can make it a little bit more complicated if you want. V shape and then a line. Love that. Maybe an upside down little cutesy nose. All of those are great nose. So many different kind of easy noses. There's a paper. If you want to try to get more complicated with your nose, you can. Totally fine. Literally, whenever I draw anime, I pretty much always use this little like L shape. So I'm going to move on to the mouth. Mouths are also not as complicated as when you draw a real person. This mouth line, I'm just going to curve it up at the end for a little smile. I might even draw a little chin line underneath. This line will be open, so mouth will be open, so I'll do a straight line. Maybe he's like yelling. And I can just do like a little tongue on the inside. If I wanted to, I could draw teeth. I'm not going to worry about that today. Maybe I'll practice that one down here. And this one I want to be maybe a little bit cutesier, so maybe I'll draw a little cutesy mouth. Over here, I did also want to mention you can do like winky eyes. We can frequently have eyes shut. Speaking of cutesy eyes, so you can draw that as well. Maybe I'll draw my teeth one over here. All right, different ways to do faces. Once you've got your mouth kind of done, you can do some ears. Ears, just like little candy cane shapes. They're pretty small. They're not the focus. And then I do just kind of a wiggly line in there, like a 3. And sometimes maybe I'll do another line next to it, just to kind of give it something inside there. Frequently the ears are covered up, so I'm not even going to do them on this character. Next is hair. Hair is the second most important feature on anime characters. Eyes is first, hair is second. With hair, it's just kind of, I start with lines a lot of times. So that's why I start teaching lines in kindergarten, so I can have lots of practice. Maybe with my zigzag line. Got a zigzag line there. I'll erase the top of the head now. And I'll start a little ways up and do just a kind of a curved line down. I like to kind of show where the part of the hair is. I could even draw some lines kind of coming out. This person's kind of got straight hair, so that's why I'm doing kind of like straighter lines. And then I'll just do a zigzag on the bottom. Over here, I'm going to show you kind of a different way of doing hair, and that's like by drawing kind of like some triangle shapes. So sometimes with certain styles, you might see this like triangle drawn hair, where you kind of like basically like clump out the hair in shapes. And that's another style. I would also, of course, erase the head in that one. And then, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways. I'll show you kind of a different one. Maybe if I have like wavier hair. So maybe I'll do some wavy lines, some really like wavy, like almost zigzag, but not. And now we can add some other details, like I added a neck in there as I was doing the hair. We can add a shirt line. We can maybe add some collarbones in there. Earrings, other details like that. Your shoulders don't have to be complicated. I just do lines lots of the time. Just out. And now I want to think about value. value is great. It's where it makes things that are flat and turns it a little bit more 3D. So I'm going to go ahead and shade in the hair. Now, on my character, I will always be shading in the face too. So I'm going to shade this one pretty light, maybe like a number 1 almost, and smudge it. Maybe this character, I'll kind of shade his face a little bit darker. I'm holding my pencil sideways so I get a nice soft lead. If I'm doing lines and straight up and down, it's going to get lines. So I don't want to see those lines. Holding that pencil sideways so it gets nice and softer. If I ever want to erase areas like the inside of the eye, I might want to go back in with my pencil. Oops. And then as you're shading, you can think some areas might be darker, like slightly under the chin. It might be a little bit darker there because it's blocking the light. All right, and I'm just going to continue adding value. Something I do want you to think about is how you can go back in and add lights in there. So I've shaded this hair in, but I could go back in and make it like lighter up top. I might even draw in some shine spots up here. So when I color in this hair, it looks like it's got some shiny spots, which is totally how hair frequently is. Kind of see how sometimes it's lighter, especially towards the center part. So maybe I'll go in and lighten that up. Now as I finish up adding value on this, I decided to make her shirt darker because there was not much that was dark on her. So I felt like she needed a darker value somewhere, whereas these guys had some more dark values. But this is looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident about this face. I would like you to just keep practicing, and then we're gonna move on to doing the full kind of superhero.